Morning. My name is Victoria Day of Embodiment LLC, and I'm a registered somatic movement educator and therapist and a certified movement analyst who offers group and individual therapeutic and educational movement sessions for folks who want to repattern their body, mind, spirit. And so today's inspiration was several clients who were asking for some at-home support to help with their feelings of mobility and stability. This is one of the themes of the Laban movement analysis framework. And they are not two separate things. Mobility and stability are part of a dynamic theme. So we're going to start in the same way that I start all of my sessions, and this is something that I call the check-in. The check-in, you can find out more about it by visiting the description below. I will link you to a couple of different videos in which I go into the check-in in more depth. But just know that the check-in is the 3 support resources of your eternal self. So just start out. I'm normally sit on the floor, but because of what we're doing today, I've decided to sit in a chair. And so just wherever you are sitting or standing or laying down, letting yourself just take about 10 to 15 seconds to really attend to your body in relationship with the chair, the floor, the earth. Just letting yourself feel the support through the grounding of the earth. And then we're just going to quickly orient, both internally and externally. So again, just letting yourself check in. You can close your eyes if you'd like, and just attend to the relationship between the front half of your body and the back half. These are 2 separate halves that meet at a midline. Front half and back half. And I'm going to invite you to also notice that you have a right half and a left half. And just let yourself just really notice that right skull, arm, torso, pelvic floor, pelvic bowl, leg, and then the left. Just notice that experience of being aware of the right half and the left half and where they meet. And then I'm going to invite you to notice that you have an upper half and a lower half. And just finding the midline where it feels for you like upper becomes lower, wherever that might be. Upper body has a front and a back, a right and a left. Lower body has a front and a back, a right and a left. And then I'm also going to invite you to orient to the outer directions. So let yourself similarly notice, just explore that there is a front half of the body, forward in space. There are things that are in front of you. And then there's the back half of space. And you are the center point of that. And noticing that there are things to your right, and there are things to your left. Right? And I can also explore that things to my right by closing in and things to my left. And then notice there's a high, everything that's up above that center point, things that are high and things that are low. Moving down, right, into a lower position. So that's orienting, that's grounding, orienting. And now we're going to move into the breath. And we're going to spend the next 10 minutes of this video exploring the three-dimensional breath. The breath is the very first pattern of movement. It's the very first pattern developmentally, and also for those of us who are developed and are adult, it's the first pattern of connectivity. So all movement can and could be supported by allowing yourself to feel the breath support that is always underneath every movement. And to explore this today, we're going to play with something called the three-dimensional breath. So I'm just going to invite you to just let yourself check into the breath. We've checked into grounding, we've oriented, and now we're also going to check into the breath. The breath is made up of two halves, an inhale and an exhale. They may be even in length or not even in length. One half may feel easier to do. I'm just going to invite you to find as much ease as you can in letting yourself sip in through your nose. And then just allow the mouth to open, let the exhale, allow it to leave the body. So begin to just practice this breath with the awareness of filling up and emptying. And invite yourself to move beyond the cognitive awareness of this and to really feel the sensations of breath filling you up and then being emptied of the breath. Taking in the outside world. You may also notice a sense of growing and shrinking. Parts of your tissues grow as you inhale. Shrink as you exhale. And see if you can just explore that for about a minute, just letting the breath, see if you can fill all the way down to the pelvic floor and then empty from the pelvic floor all the way out. Softening, allowing. Now I'd like you to let yourself continue to breathe with that same sense of filling and emptying. But begin to then layer that with your awareness of the front and back body. And just noticing what moves on the front body, what the back body. In Laban language, we call the shape that we are making in this front-back awareness, where our front body moves forward, our back body moves backward on the inhale, and then our front body moves backward and our back body moves forward on the exhale. We call that bulging and hollowing. So just let yourself notice. Bulging, hollowing. And on these last two breaths, just give yourself, just think about your yoga practice, your Tai Chi practice, your dance practice, tennis, golf, anything that you do, putting laundry in the dryer, any actions in your day. And just think about how might this awareness, this sensation of bulging and hollowing help you to either stabilize or mobilize. There's definitely that feeling within these shapes. Okay. And then just checking on my time, because I want to respect and keep this short so that it's easy for people to come back to. Okay, so now shift as you continue to fill and empty. So that's just a whole, not particularly directional, formless, in fact. It's just a growing and a shrinking. Bring your awareness to the right and left half of your body. And start to breathe into the two side bodies. Inhaling and exhaling into the ribs, into the torso, into the pelvic floor, into the shoulders, into the jaw. Become aware of the shape that your body is making as it moves. See if you can just notice the subtle widening and narrowing. This is the language of Laban. And in these next two breaths, again, just consider some movement that you make in your everyday life that might be supported by the inhale widening or the exhale shrinking, narrowing, sorry. And feeling it moving away from and towards this midline. And then finally, I'm going to invite you to just put your one hand here on the higher part of your torso, one hand in the lower part. You can also put it on the back part if that feels interesting. The one hand on the front body, right, and one hand on the back body in two different heights, one higher, one lower. Okay, so I'm going to bring it around like this. And then I'm going to continue to let myself just grow and shrink with my breath. And begin to notice that you also, as you grow, you don't just grow forward and back, left and right, but you also grow up and down. Just let yourself imagine or notice the lengthening potential and the shortening potential. And you don't have to do it like this. You can just feel it. That with each inhale, the spaces between the spine grow and then they shrink. They lengthen. The head moves away from the tail without any muscular exertion. And then the head and the tail come closer. So again, just in these next couple of breaths, let yourself just imagine the obvious yoga posture that comes to my mind is when you're doing cat-cow, right? So really feeling the breath lengthening and shortening. And you may even find there's some lengthening, bulging, hollowing in the back body, right, shortening. That's just a little taste of the yoga from a developmental perspective that I offer to clients. So just take a moment, because we're a few minutes past where I wanted to stop, and just let yourself come back to just growing and shrinking, just noticing your breath, going back to noticing you being supported. And see if you can have a little more awareness of the shape that your breath helps your body make and how this may support you as you're moving through your day. And I invite you to check out my other videos, and I will also be creating a video that piggybacks right on this about literally moving with the support of the breath and being able to open and close, extend and flex your body with more support. So I hope you will join me. I would love for you to comment. And if you're interested in an individual or a group session, please check out my website. All the information is below. We are all in this together. Thank you.